Hello, everyone. Welcome to GNU, according to CD, that is Government of National Unity. So, South Africa, what do you call this? Stats essay. Sorry, Stats essay released new unemployment figures. Oh my gosh. Wow. In South Africa, it doesn't rain, it pours. I'm telling you. What on earth is this? The unemployment rate has risen to 33.5% in the second quarter of 2024. This highlights a severe national crisis, y'all. A huge crisis. This is alarming. Rural African women are disproportionately affected by 50.4% of unemployment out of that 33.5%. That is absolutely insane. When it comes to the youth, it hits at the roof. I'm even afraid to tell you the number. My goodness gracious me, this is so unacceptable. I mean, Government of National Unity, this is something that you need to tackle. We have a ticking time bomb under our belt. But then again, listen, as long as we still have illegal foreigners in South Africa, this unemployment rate of South Africans will continue to rise every second, every quarter there is in 2024, because this is something that is not being addressed. Instead, we are having a Minister of Home Affairs that is encouraging people from outside to get their papers in order so that they are able to continue to work while South African citizens are not being put first. I mean, I've said this before. If this GNU is not going to put South Africans first, then we have a problem. I think it's important, and by putting South Africans first, I mean South Africans, let them get jobs first. The remaining jobs, or maybe where there is a need, then we can take from those that come from outside. But I am telling you, I've seen videos of Zimbabweans. I've seen videos of what do you call these people again? Malawians and Zambians, as well as some Tanzanians, basically encouraging each other. And listen to this, they are encouraging each other through YouTube videos, and these videos have hundreds of thousands of views, meaning that there are hundreds of thousands of them in South Africa, and they are all agreeing that they should, especially Zimbabweans, are like, okay, we'll go home to go get our passports in order and come back so that I can secure my job. And their bosses, who happens, you know what, guys, whether we like this or not, we are being sold out by white businesses. White businesses don't like black South Africans. Emphasis on black South Africans because of the Labor Relation Act. The Labor Relation Act, when it comes to a South African, every employer must abide by it. They must adhere to it. That means a South African employee has a rights to join a union, has a right to form a union, has a right to earn minimum wage, and also demand an increase when the time is right, promotions, etc., and so on. So businesses, particularly white businesses, and not only just white businesses, I'm coming to our own people, the black businesses, who are doing the very same thing to us black people. But let me just deal with these ones first because they are the biggest perpetrators of this. Let me tell you a story. When I was a student at Wits University, um, for money, I used to take we have a shuttle bus that was would take us to all what you call the residents that are outside of campus. So I would run from East Campus, run to the bus stop, and the bus will go to the first stop was Hillbrow, which was Excellent Res, and then it will go to medical school in Parktown, and then it proceeds to business school, and then it proceeds to Nokendo, I think. From Nokendo, that's when I would take a taxi that is going to Rosebank. Now, in Rosebank, there was before Rosebank became how Rosebank looks today. I would go to the zone, and then I had a restaurant job. If I don't have a restaurant job that particular night, I know there's one or two or three or four restaurants that will take me for the night. And that was not only me, it was a bunch of us South African students. And we'll go there and then we would earn either we'll become dishwashers, if we don't come dishwashers, they'll will be waiters because we had all that experience. So they'll ask you what's your experience in the restaurant business. As you say, I have all the experience washing dishes, as well as waitering, as well as hosting, whatever the case might be. Obviously, for hosting, they will look at you, how you look like, are you presentable, and then they'll put you in the front. So that job was done a lot by South African students. Go to any restaurant today in Rosebank. I'm just going to give you Rosebank alone. Go to Rosebank and find me a student who is a waiter, a dishwasher, and all of that stuff. And and student poverty, guys, is a real thing. Can you imagine how many students that are at Wits, that are at UJ, that are whatever other universities there are in Johannesburg, forget Pretoria and all the other parts of South Africa, just here, down under our nose, right? How many students are like struggling because they can't find jobs like dishwashing at the restaurant? Do you know washing dishes for one night paid you around 300 rand at the time? 300 rand for a student is a lot of money. You can buy canned stuff, you can buy 12.5 milli meal, and then you are set for the next month. That is how it used to be for us. Now we don't have that anymore because all these jobs are taken by people coming from outside, and in most cases they are illegal because these white businesses, the first thing they want to know, do you have proper papers? If they say no, great, even better, because they can use that against you should you ever try to complain about anything, whether the money you are going to earn is little, or they take away your tips, or they give you two quarters of your tips, or whatever the case might be. Versus if it was a South African, will be like, I work hard for this money. Those tips are mine. A South African can actually tell a restaurant owner that. But some restaurant owners, they take away the whole tip and tell them, no, you still get paid money at the end of the day. Some, they don't give them a salary. They'll say, you are going to work for your tips. But your tips as well, they are regulated. If your tips make more than, let's say, 800 Rand, they say you made 1,000 Rand tip, they take away 200 Rand and they give you 800. But they told you that you are working for tips, you are not working for a salary. There's no base in your salary, it's just the tips. But the same tips are regulated. And then you go into the security industry, and I'm talking legitimate security industries. There, you know, they became very smart in the security industry. You know what they did? They would hire a South African, but the South African will be under or supervised by a foreign national. And the foreign national's job is one only. Make sure that those South Africans do not join unions. If they join unions, report them to the security boss company. And if you are caught having joined a union, guess what will happen to you? You are going to be vilified. If you're not vilified, you are going to be, in Zulu say, you are Joshua, meaning that they always hold you at something that immediately you falter again, you get fired. That is what our so-called brothers, the Pan-Africanist love that we have for each other, they are doing to South Africans. I could go on and on. The construction industry, worse, worse. When it comes to painting, gardening, remember all of those things used to be South African stuff that South Africans used to do, including domestic work. Now let's come to our own so-called brothers and sisters. I'm talking about the black race. Black people do not hire black people in South Africa for nanny, for domestic work, for gardening, for whatever. They prefer foreign nationals. You know why they prefer foreign nationals? For the same reasons that white businesses don't hire South Africans. Because when you have a domestic worker, minimum wage still counts. Yes, it does. A South African is covered by that. That when you get employed in South Africa, minimum wage is a must. That's the start, even it have to be. And our brothers and sisters, black, They don't hire black people of South Africa. They would rather go for somebody else that comes from another African country so that they can exploit the living daylight out of them. And if they don't like what they do, they hire somebody else the following day. They tell this one you are fired and go to these those suburbs. You'll see some ladies, they dress already in kitchen wear, inverted commas, and when a black person drives there looking for a domestic, once again, inverted commas, they always ask, which country are you from? Dare you say South Africa? You are not getting that job. Now, South Africans have to lie and say, oh, I come from Zambia, or I come from Zimbabwe, or I come from here, and that's when they get taken. But then again, South Africans can't pretend to be anything else but South Africans. And this madam, South African black madam, discovers that this one is South African. And then they tell them, oh no, tomorrow you don't have to come. They go back to those corners and then they get themselves a foreign national so that they can exploit them. And then you think our unemployment rate is going to go anywhere below what it is today? No, no. And the revolutionary, when it always starts, the so-called rich always the target. Yeah, including you black ones who are busy suppressing your own people, and you turn around and say, I'm a patriot, I'm a South African, Rainbow Nation, rugby, yeah. Come on, guys. How is this all right? How is this all right? Tell me, how is this all right? Because we are being sold by our own people. Our own people don't like us because we have rights. And then you think that the unemployment rate is going to go anywhere. And oh my goodness, I don't know how to put this. The ironic thing about this, the same South Africans they're not hiring, especially when they are boys. These boys turn out to, they always find an alternative. Unfortunately, the alternative they always find is not according to the law. They'll start involving themselves in hijacking, they start involving themselves in mugging people. And guess what? You, business owner, restaurant owner, when they get you at the robots, it's either you go home with your life or you go home on your back. Why, do you ask yourself? But anyways, each their own, I suppose. This whole the concept of Ubuntu, it only applies when it suits us, but when it's supposed to matter the most, this is when we throw away our own people and embrace a whole different kind that don't care anything for us or our country for that matter. So when I was growing up, I was told that when you own something, you take care of it. I mean, you make sure it is well maintained, it's well taken care of, it's attractive, and not even a stain will be on it. However, if it's not your own, you will do as you please with it. You will not take care of it. There will be stains all over, fingerprints, dirty, dingy, and disgusting. That's exactly how our country is being treated by people who don't belong here. It's not their home. It doesn't belong to them. Why should they care? So why should they care about your people that they're unemployed? I mean, I heard one person that I think it came from either Zimbabwe, they were just pleading with the government and saying, listen, please don't deport us. So we got children, we got families that we have to support back home when we send money. And I'm thinking there's a South African citizen who is supposed to be doing your job, who has the exact same thing, same responsibilities back home, whether in the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu Natal, Mpumalanga, or Limpopo. But because you are working their job, guess what? They have never they have never felt the joy of earning something at the end of the month to take care of their families, just like you are able every single month to send something back home. I know it sounds a little bit uncaring, but my people come first. Those jobs are meant for my people. My people must come first, and then you come next if there is still left of what our people have gotten. Our people first. How is that difficult to understand? But then again, why should you care? Because you already are favored by those that want to exploit you. It's a difficult one. 33.5%, that third quarter, watch it rise. Watch it rise, and crime levels in this country will affect you. Yeah, you, the business owner. When they break into your store, when they hijack you, possibly even take away what's valuable to you, and that is the breath that comes out of your body. Why? Because you are not thinking. These are created by lack of thinking. It would be nice if South Africa had capital that can give them money to become entrepreneurs, but there's nothing, absolutely nothing. 33.5%, that is horrible. That is horrible. I don't know how it's going to change, but I think the government of national unity really needs to think and think deep how they are going to put South Africans first when it comes to job supply. Other than that, guys, please don't leave this video without liking, sharing, subscribing, and leave a comment. What are your thoughts? What are the solutions, if you have any? And I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.